How's it going, guys? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting. Welcome back to Rewind Plus, or ReWrite Plus. What am I saying? Rewind. Good grief. Ugh, my brain is just... It's this month, man. This month is just the worst for my mental acuity. It's just bad. It's the end of the year. It's like there's like shopping, and then there's like just everything with like family going on, and then like it's just my brain's melting. It's just been ridiculous. So ReWrite Plus. Welcome back. We are here after we've done a little bit of snooping with our bestie. We were able to go around and kind of find this strange classroom, trying to find the location of the witch, or like this kind of mystical third year who apparently is like a witch of some kind. And we did find a suspicious room that looks like it might be tied to the occult club that doesn't quite exist, but does exist? I don't know. But it looks like we might find their headquarters in a part of the school that just isn't being used. And like, despite the fact that this room looks well used, well stocked, and well cared for, yeah, I'm sure it'll become relevant in the near future. I also have to apologize. Last week, I had a bit of an oopsie with the upload. I did upload a video that had, for some reason, muted the game audio. So I apologize for that. I really hope I don't repeat that anytime soon. Thankfully, a lot of you came back and watched the kind of fixed version, so I appreciate that. Anyway, enough about that. Let's jump into things and see what happens this episode. So kick back and enjoy, and I'll see you there. All right, I return to my classroom. Hey, Kotori.
はいはい。なんでしょ、小太郎さんや。
Hey, Kotori. She's so cute. I see you haven't eaten yet. Perfect.
今まさに食べんとすってところだね。
Luck is on your side today, Miss Kanabe. If you hadn't already eaten, I would have lost out on this amazing deal.
取引って何？
Oh yeah, because we're trying to like go and have like lunch with that one girl, like the small girl who's like on patrol duty in the hallways. Allow me to explain. What's the first thing that pops into your mind when you hear Hokkaido?
北海道。北海道ね。寒い？
Indeed, it's cold there. But what about the food?
食べ物ときたね。
Yeah, isn't it like known for apples?
おいしい。
Yes, that's right. Everyone knows about the quality of Hokkaido local produce.
自然がいっぱい。ロマンチックだね。
Aw, that does sound fun, actually. And here I have a red bean bun that's been produced using the wonders of that faraway northern land.
お、そりゃすごいよ、小太郎さん。
Aw, we're mean. Look at this. It says it was made 100% Tokachi Akuzagi red bean. Azuki red bean. Just think of the beautiful farms in those vast and lush Tokachi fields. It's here, this easily one of the highest quality food produced products in the country.
十勝平野。
You could go as far as say that the bean paste in this red bean bun embodies the northern lands themselves.
すごい。そりゃ美味しいに決まってるね。
Want a taste?
十勝平野と聞いちゃ引き下がれないね。
In that case, we can move to negotiations.
でもいいの？それお昼ご飯じゃない？
I want to exchange this red bean bun with something from your lunchbox.
ナイスアイディア。
And that's how I got seasoned rice and pickles. Respect is written all over her face.
さすがだ。
So apparently you guys were saying that her name's been mistranslated to Sizuru. From Sizuru. So yeah, I guess I haven't seen anything about a patch quite yet. I'll keep looking into that though, because like maybe there's like a fixed patch out there. But it's kind of sad to see that there's something like that, like apparently a mistranslation or misrepresentation of a name. Sizuru, I could have sworn that's not what it was though. Am I going crazy or something? I don't know. Like I feel like Sizuru is right, but I could have sworn it was something different. I don't know. No, it's the noble northern lands of our nation that brought us victory today. I knew I had her as soon as I brought up Tokachi.
北海道。侮り方し。
Never again. Well, it wasn't a huge loss on Kotori's part either. Though the question of whether the red bean bun is a good fit along her other dishes remains unanswered. Well, that's one problem solved, but we came this far, so why not challenge an even greater heights? Are we going to try and trade up? What? You're planning to take things even further, Kotarou? You're such a terrifying man, says her astounded expression. Narrating her is getting more and more fun lately. Hey, Yoshino.
てめえ、俺を気安く呼ぶんじゃねえ。
Yoshino just sounds like a name that works, of someone who works for a Yakuza. I don't know. Like, I could just see, hey, Yoshino. Yeah, it just has that guttural sound to it. Huh? He seems to be in a bad mood.
今の俺はまさに飢えた狼だ。狂犬に気安く近づくと怪我すんぜ。
So is he a wolf or a dog? In any case, he probably means that he's in a bad mood because he hasn't eaten lunch yet. Such a kid getting worked up over an empty stomach. In times like this, it's usually best to just play along. You craphead. Don't listen to me. I'll kill you!
んだと上等だ。聞きまくってやんよ。
Don't look at this or I'll bash your skull in.
ざけんじゃねえ。見まくってやんよ。
It's just reverse psychology. Talk about reverse psychology, yep! Wow, if that's what you want, then here. I show him my red bean bun.
ほう。これがどうした？
Have you ever eaten one of these before?
いや、そういえばねえな。
Wanna try?
見くびんじゃねえ。俺はこの野菜サンドで血液サラッサラにするとこなんだよ。
What's a lettuce sandwich? Is that just like a meat sandwich with no meat? Are you implying that red bean buns aren't good for you? Look, it's made of 100% local wheat.
何？
Go on, try smelling it. I open the package and give it a sniff. Then I stick it out to Yoshino. That probably looked very strange to anyone watching.
くわー。こいつは香ばしく甘いスメルだぜ。
I almost parroted his words back at him in a silly voice, but I managed to restrain myself. I'm open to exchanging it for your sandwich. I'll pay the difference in the initial cost.
要はそれが最初から目的なんだろ。まだるっこしいことしやがって。
Hey, at least he found out. Look, I got 100% Tokachi Azuki bean buns in it.
100% だ。そこまで十勝じゃしょうがねえ。持っていきな。
All right. Just look at the spoils of thy campaign. I can see envy sparkling in her eyes.
さすが小太郎。
Who would have guessed Tokachi was this influential? She nods.
しかし、彼はアンパンを嗅いで何をあんなに喜んでいたんだ。
That's just the kind of guy he is. She made a puzzled face. In any case, I've obtained enough food for this satisfying lunch. All right, time for finally time for our exciting picnic.
ワクワクランチタイム。
Her voice sounds a little lacking in the excitement department, but I know better. I continue into the courtyard as Sizuru follows me with her tiny steps. This place looks good enough. She nods and pulls out a piece of newspaper from underneath her skirt. Huh? She probably has a secret pocket in there or something. What is it? Is her expression? Just don't do that in front of other people. I almost saw your underwear.
問題ない。
Okay, if you say so. Was it fine because I didn't end up seeing them, or because she didn't care whether I saw them or not? Why are you bothered? It's such silly things, Johnny, says her expression. Don't mind me, it's nothing. Who's Johnny anyway? Says the look in her eyes. She stares at me. Okay, I'm just messing around. She does look unconvinced though. Well, whatever. I spread some newspaper pages on the ground for us to sit on. One for me, one for Sizuru. After a few moments of thought, she moves my page in front of hers
小太郎。
and taps it a few times. She probably wants us to eat while facing each other. I decide to indulge her whims and sit in front of her.
うむ。
She lowers herself down on the page while wearing a broad smile. It's really cute. Well, time to eat, I guess. I opened the lunchbox I got from Kotori. It has Miss Kanabe's special seaweed seasoned rice inside. That's pretty good in and of itself, but I wanted something more meaty to go with it. I turned my eyes to look at Sizuru and see her spill juice all over her hands as she awkwardly sticks a straw into her juice pack. Aww. Hey, you gotta hold it at an angle if you don't want to have the juice to come out of you. I wipe her hands with a tissue I find in my pocket. I brought a shave upon my house, says her expression as her shoulders slump. Cheer up, it's not like you spilled all of it. She doesn't look too convinced. Oh, right, you promised to give me something, didn't you? And her head jolts upright.
どうぞ召し上がれ。
She presents her lunchbox to me. It contains a number of wieners shaped like octopuses, fried bacon with spinach, and 2 mini tomatoes. She also has seasoned rice of her own in a separate container. Her lunch doesn't look too complicated, but it's very well balanced. Guess I'll take the octopus wiener then.
半分。
3 octopus wieners lay in my lunchbox. Will you really have enough left after that?
私にはこれがある。
Aww. Hang on. Sizuru looks like she's prepared for everything with her lunchbox on her knees. Okay, wait, nope. How do I... There we go. Cute. What's that? Canned sorry? Her look inquires as to whether I want some too. Nah, looks like you've been looking forward to this.
残念だが、こればかりは譲るわけにはいかない。
Gotcha. Hey, we all have our stuff, you know. Those words leave her lips with an odd hint of pride. I didn't really want fish at the moment anyway. Well, I'm gonna help myself with those wieners then.
いただいてください。
That's a good taste. Who was it that first came up with the idea to dry and smoke meat anyway? Why would you ever think of something like that? The wiener of the present day is a culmination of the idea. We have to be grateful to whoever invented them. I'm pretty sure the idea of drying and smoking meats was about having preserved meats because they could last longer. Dried and smoked meant that they were essentially cooked, but in a way where the moisture was taken out of it, so they took a lot longer to rot, so they could be traveled with. Her eyes wandered to the vegetable juice pack that she left by her feet.
ハリさんが、ハリさんが。
What? Panic overtakes her. An ant is climbing up the side of her juice pack. Sizuru looks at me with desperate eyes, appealing to me for guidance. I honestly have no idea why a mere ant is flustering her this much. She clearly needs help, though. I pick up the juice pack. Whew! And blow off the ant with a breath. There, it's been saved. I heard the juice pack. She seems to have calmed down. She just must not like bugs. However, her face soon clouds over again. Now that she's taken the juice pack from me, both her hands are occupied. But if she puts it back on the ground, it might get assaulted by more ants. And there's no space on her knees with that lunchbox and a sorry can in the way. She gives me another pleading look. Triggers my mischievous tendencies. I really can't help myself. Alright, let's do it like this then. I place the juice pack on top of her head. She begins eating, clearly satisfied. I was hoping she'd be panicking again. That's a little disappointing. What's that over there? I'll force her to move so if she won't her by herself. What could be? Says the look in her eyes. She cocks her head, but the juice pack remains motionless. Ooh, impressive. Sizuru must possess an amazing sense of balance. No, it's nothing. She begins eating again. Aw, she's so happy. Her face transformed into a mask of bliss. It reminds me of a cat basking in the sun. The kind of face that fills your heart with love and benevolence. Aww. That's a pretty cute little picture right there. She happily nibbles to the contents of her lunchbox. And after a few bites, she moves on to the sorry can. If you were poetically inclined, you could describe the look on her face as the zenith of ecstasy. You sure like sorry, don't you? She nods. I see. She gives me a quizzical look, as though puzzled as to why I'm asking her something so obvious.
食べたいのか？
Maybe just a bit.
だがこれは一つしかない。一口だけならあげる。
Aw. Really? She places one piece of sari on top of my rice. I'll help myself to it then. Yeah, it's pretty good. Though it doesn't taste any different from other canned sari I've eaten. Certainly doesn't make my face twist up in bliss like hers. After a few minutes of her blissful lunch, it's not bad at all. She takes a sip of her vegetable juice. Did it taste good?
とっても美味しい。
Aw, that's good. She answers with a wide smile. I can tell she enjoyed the meal from the bottom of her heart. Sizuru may not be good with words, but her facial expression conveys her emotions with surprising precision. That's just the kind of person she is. Interesting. As class ends, I steal a glance at Otori's desk. I can't help myself. Our transfer student seemed to be busy reading a book. That insanely heavy book is lying at her feet. The school apparently let her store it on campus somewhere. And from the box, she produced a ridiculously large book from which she's now managing to hold on to with just one hand. The boys that wouldn't have normally used every opportunity to talk to the pretty new girl in the class seem to have been repelled by the outlandish sight. She's basically advertising her superior strength like that. It doesn't seem like she's bothered by the negative attention, though. She's completely absorbed in her book.
Power fighter だ。
Yes. I mean, so effectively what she's doing, she's got like a textbook she's holding with one hand, like, just holding it there. God.
マジかよあれ。
Most of the guys in class seem to have been immediately scared off. I can't blame them, though. Having witnessed her monstrous strength myself, their reactions are only natural. Namely, the fact that she is unnatural. Hey. Otori? I have to say something.
はい
That book.
貸しませんよ
No, I wasn't trying to say I'm interested in it or anything. You're kind of weirding everyone out. Are you okay with that?
ドン引き
No, I mean, you were really popular the other day, but no one seems is even talking to you now, right?
ん
Doesn't it seem like she's even noticed? Thinking about it, she hasn't really seemed particularly social, even when other people approached her.
別にただ貸してもらった本を読んでるだけですけどあんまり騒がしいのは好きじゃないので別にいいです
Finding a good place to continue from later, she closes the book. I see. She borrowed it? What was the owner of that book thinking, and why when they lent it to her? Unfortunately, we don't live in the kind of simple world where you can just stand out that much and not suffer the consequences. Sooner or later, that only leads to isolation. Was that the intent of whoever gave her that book, I wonder? Or did Otori wish for that herself? But there's no point in racking my brain over someone I met only a day or two ago, is there? In spite of myself, there are some people I just can't leave alone. Hey, are you busy after this?
はいなんでです
Thought I could show you around town.
は
No, it's not like it's what it's. It's just that it seems like I ended up making you hate me before I realized it, even though I never intended you any harm. So I was thinking of maybe there was something I could do to make it up to you. Like most young men these days, I lack the guts to apologize straight to someone's face.
別にそう言われるとそりゃこちらこそごめんなさいとしか言えませんけど
Oh, seems like I finally managed to get through to her.
それとは別にあなたの軽すぎる口は嫌いです
Oh, okay. So you don't hate me. You just hate what I say. Ah, you're talking about the cherries? Yeah, sorry about that. But I couldn't resist after seeing them. I mean, they're cherries, you know?
いや
Oh, my bad.
そういうところが嫌いだと言ってるんですとにかく今日は他の人と会う約束があるので一緒には行けませんさようなら
She gives me a quick, indignant glance and then heads straight for the door. See you tomorrow then.
そういう軽いところが嫌いだって言ってるんです
She continues onward with her head still toward me. Wait, Otori.
何ですか
The door's closed. Oh! She rams her head straight into the wooden frame. I really recommend watching where you're going when you walk anywhere.
あなたが話しかけてきてるからですとにかく今度こそさよなら
She slides the door open with a single powerful swing. So fetch! The door pops right off its tracks. She desperately grasps the door onto the door, trying to keep it from falling to the ground. You just slid it off the rail. It's not broken.
なんでこんなことばっか
I
り
don't know, because you're like a gorilla trapped in a human body. You're meeting someone, right? I'll fix this stuff, so you just go on ahead.
そういうわけにも
Ah, you've trapped my finger! In the end, we had to fit the door back into place together.
疲れました
Same. We did a pretty good job, though.
そうですね本当に疲れました一体なぜこんなことになっているんですか
I don't know. The gods have a sense of humor. Don't think too hard about it. Life has its ups and downs.
あなたと会ってからな気がするんですけどね
That's definitely a coincidence. Maybe things are going perfect for you now from now on. A life of bed and roses.
何色のバラですか
I wouldn't know. Probably red or pink, I suppose.
とにかく今日はもう帰ります
She heads for the exit with clearly exhausted steps. Otori,
はい
weren't you supposed to be meeting someone? She turns back around. I see you completely forgot about it, little lady.
忘れてたわけじゃありません
If you say so. Well, I'll see you around then.
お疲れ。
I wave Atori goodbye and leave the classroom. Huh? Come to think of it, is there really anyone that she'd be bidding with? She only transferred to our school 3 days ago. When did she have time to become friends with people from other classes? That piques my curiosity a little. Choices! I'm curious, but I don't know if I'm like super interested in her. So I'm guessing this is one of those points where you like decide what path you're taking. I don't know. Yeah, I think let her do her own thing. I don't really care. It's none of my business. These days, you can't meet people from all over the world online. It wouldn't be that surprising if she knew a person or two from the school beforehand. I should probably go. With that, I leave the classroom. I don't know. Just didn't feel right. Huh. The wind's gotten worse lately. The wind's getting pretty strong in Kazamatsuri, probably because the mountains surrounding the town. And today seems like one of those days. Like my hometown growing up is always super windy. The wind gets even stronger as I continue down the road. It's almost nearing the level of a typhoon. The official ladies in front of me are holding down their skirts. Oh, dang. The wind's getting a little too strong even for me. I'm starting to have trouble walking. The streets covered up with a bunch of construction come loose, fluttering in the wind in the most discouraging of displays. Suddenly, someone screams. It sounds slightly strange for some reason. And then I see it. An object falling off a building. Several objects, actually. The first one slams into the ground, just a few meters away from me. Shatters to pieces, unleashing a foreign sound. I extended a hand to protect my left eye. In the next moment, I feel a prickling pain in my palm. It's like a small rock struck me while traveling at incredible speeds. Or not a rock, but a piece of a flower pot. It fell from somewhere high up. The soil is strewn across the pavement like a juice of a crushed fruit. I watch as another set of flower pots is carried by the wind. 7 in total. One, in fact, seems to be heading straight for my head. Cool. 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 Why did that happen? I freeze, my body refusing to move. Dodging it would be simple if I could only remain calm, but I don't have the time to achieve something like that, so I really don't want to do it, but the very idea of using it again repulses me, but I have absolutely no choice. What are we using? I focus my thoughts. A luminescent fluid fills my body and mind, like oil from a machine, and from that I change. And only one drop, but it's enough. My field of vision widens instantly. Oh, look at that! Like the clock in the corner is flashed up. That's cool. Oh, crap. I didn't see what that line was. All right. One's field of vision normally narrows the more they concentrate, but the rules like that don't apply to me. I force my concentration and peripheral vision to work together. And so the density of information filtering into my brain increases tenfold. It's almost like I can see everything at once. Like the resolution of the world has increased. Everything around me moves in slow motion. My body lurches forward. A grade schooler passed by me earlier, and I can predict that a third flower pot is about to land on his toes, crushing them. He's looking straight up, frozen in place like I just was a moment ago. That's the most natural reaction a person can have in this kind of situation. But I extinguish that shock using a drop of my oil. I grab the immobile boy and move him to safety.
ありがとうございます。
You're welcome. I leave a still somewhat confused grade schooler behind, fleeing the area as quickly as possible. A police car passes me on the way. It would have been a pain if they'd ended up wanting to question me. It's best that I disappear. Okay, so he describes it as using oil, but that's because it feels like it boosts. He has a way of self-enhancement, apparently. I rush into a dark alley somewhere. Should be able to escape through here. I hurry into the general direction of my house. I've already gotten pretty far from the scene. Unfortunately, our school's uniform tends to stand out a lot. I can't let my guard down just yet. I'm still not used to my senses being so acute. But then again, the flower pot might have killed me if I hadn't done this. I feel akin to having a fluorescent lamp suddenly turned on while you're reading a book by candlelight. But I'll get used to it, eventually. It took some time for Clark Kent to become Superman, after all. And I can't turn back anymore anyway. Oh, okay, interesting. So, Alright, so scale. Nope. So this is proceeding onward. Alright, is there anything on this map I can like interact with? Doesn't look like it. How many people over there? Might be a good way to go if I want to slip by unnoticed. Okay, again, like, I'm just struggling to see if there's anything in particular that I can interact with here. Like, I'm seeing, like, these are parking lots with, like, turnstiles and, like, gates and trash cans and, like, benches, I'm guessing. Stairways leading up. Yeah, I don't really see anything else. Odd. Was this street always so long? It's not like it's my first time through here. I feel like it's the same street. Like, this looks identical. I haven't passed a single person. It suddenly feels like I'm in a ghost town. This can't be right. It's like complete. Oh my gosh. Okay. This map is the same, but it's like just repeating over and over again. Okay, there's definitely something wrong with all this. Great. What did we do? Huh? Suddenly I noticed that I found myself in an unfamiliar street. Spotting a telephone pole, I checked the address board attached to it. Rio Soto. Rio Soto. That's not even close to my house. I must have taken a wrong turn somewhere. Huh? I didn't meet a single person on the way, and I'm all alone on this street. However, I definitely saw some people walking around before I went into the alleyway. I tried taking a random turn. Not a single soul about. This can't be right. The streets look perfectly normal, just devoid of people. But there's definitely something off about it. Suspicious-looking person. Hello, Mr. Cult member. After a few more turns, I suddenly run into a suspicious-looking person. Huh! Oh, crap, I let out a goofy yell. But they passed right by me. A hood is covering their face. I can't even tell whether they're a man or a woman. It's not like the hood of a parka or anything normal either. Is that person wearing a robe? Like a wizard in video games usually do? Cosplay? For a second, I doubt what my eyes are seeing. Maybe that's a costume for the Harvest Festival? I finally come up with a sensible explanation. Our festival never loses to Halloween when it comes to costumes. That person's probably one of the participants. I turn around. They've stopped a bit further away and are now silently staring at me. Settled, I hurriedly turn a corner. Superpowers exist, which means the possibility of ghosts, curse, aliens, and other supernatural things existing is just as likely. I truly wish I could confidently deny the existence of the supernatural. That by itself would liberate me from half my fears. Interesting. But it only takes the existence of one to shatter one's confidence of disbelieving the others. As such, I can't help but be curious. I have to confirm whether they exist or not. I have to test all of them one by one. My legs carry me almost unconsciously. I've started running before I even realize it. I emerge onto the main street. There's not a single person here either. Jeez. Not a soul in sight. It's like we entered a parallel universe or something. Not a single moving car. That makes no sense, especially given the time of day. I look up at the sky. Dim light barely filters through the thick gray canopy. I can't even see the sun or clouds up there. This is all coincidence, huh? There's probably a few minutes each year, no matter where you are in the world, where everything aligns in such a way that there isn't a single person in the middle of town in the middle of the day. If we can spot at least one car on the road. Instead, I suddenly feel like a glimpse of dark shadow in the corner of my eye. I stop. A black dog is staring back at me. It's neither a person nor a car, but it's alive. However, my momentary relief soon turns to an even stronger anxiety. There's something off about that dog. It's neither barking nor moving around, it's simply watching me. At a distance of about 30 meters. It's pretty big. It's at least medium-sized. You'd probably call it more of a large-sized dog. That by itself isn't too unusual, but it doesn't have a leash or collar. Someone would call a dog catcher if this thing were running around the middle of town. I begin creeping away from the dog. I'm scared it might attack me if I move too fast, but before I know it, I've already broken into a light jog. After running for a while, I stop, checking behind me, and freeze. The dog is standing about 20 meters away. Are you kidding me? I walk for a while, then glance back again. The dog is now only 10 meters away. Oh, that's creepy though, because it's like not moving when he's looking at it. The nape of my neck grows numb. The dog regards me with emotionless eyes. The dogs normally look so cold. There's not even a hint of life in its eyes. If it's meant to me harm, I would have expected it to at least bark or growl, but it's just following me in utter silence instead. Gotta lose it somehow. I turn to another corner and break into a dash. I run as fast as I can. I turn another corner, and another, all without slowing down at all. I continue turning corners, hoping to shake it off my tail. What about now? Oh, fetch! There it is! The black dog stands about 5 meters behind me. Its breathing remains steady, as though I hadn't even considered this exercise. What? 5 meters? That's basically on top of me. I'm within killing range of a four-legged predator. This can't be happening. What can I do if it jumps on me? It'll probably knock me down like a rag doll. The thing probably weighs over 50 kilograms at least. Animals are typically way stronger than humans of the same weight. I'll have no chance as I am now. I might have risked this once, but not anymore. That said, I don't see how I can escape. An animal standing before me. There's no way in heck I can outrun it. I glance around the street looking for something that might help. Where to go? Calm myself down. Okay, that'll work. There's something after all. I slowly move to the right, careful not to upset the dog. That was interesting. So the dog vanished in like the circle span. So what's up with that? It takes a step forward. You can no longer deny it's targeting me. I break into another dash and jump, landing on the metal dumpster by the side of the road. And as soon as my feet touch the surface, I jump again. On the fence! Yes, success! I take a few steps along the top of the fence and jump toward the neighboring building's second floor window. Whoa! My foot slips, but I manage to fit my toes on the windowsill at the very last second. Crap, if I'd miscalculated even a little bit, I would have started falling straight into the jaws of death. Thankfully, the window's wide open. I roll inside the building. Whew, how'd you like that? I look down the road below me. The black dog stares back at me with an indignant glare on its eye for a few moments before giving up and walking away. Weird. What's up with that crazy dog? In any case, I managed to get out of the perilous situation unscathed. And as I calm down, I realize there's something off about me. The area surrounding my thighs feels oddly hot, as though there were a heater in there or something. I ended up flipping the switch again, huh? That's the second time I've used it in a day. I probably did it unconsciously while I was running around. That was quite careless of me. That's what happens when I forget to keep my cool. And then again, maybe I wouldn't have made the jump without it. I find people walking on the sidewalk and cars running through the streets as I exit the building. What the heck is going on? It almost feels like I witnessed it earlier was a dream or an illusion. In any case, I managed to make it cut back to the normal world. I let out a sigh of relief. Weird. That was very bizarre. It's dark by the time I make it home. I find a note on the table. My parents must have come home and promptly left again, leaving only a note behind. To Kotarou, we are going to be busy with an experiment and will not be able to come back home for a while. We are leaving the house in your hands, Mom and Dad. Guess they're they're hard at work, like always. Those jobs are supporting my relatively affluent lifestyle, though. I don't really have anything to complain about. If only they weren't so stingy with my allowance. I'd find some pre-cooked convenience store dishes in the fridge and use them to make myself dinner. And with that, time to sleep has finally come. I consider sleeping somewhere else, but using my parents' bedroom doesn't feel right, so the living room is too spacious for me to feel safe. In the end, the bed I'm used to is still the most secure. My own mattress is probably better at repelling evil spirits than an unfamiliar one would be. I just had to try and sleep with the lights and TV on this time. That's literally all I can do. I'm guessing these things don't like bright lights or a cheerful atmosphere. It's too dangerous to remain in the dark. Without a doubt, it supplies them with extra power or something. That's how it usually works in video games, at least. So he's like, something's affecting him. And since he knows superpowers exist, because apparently he's got some, he's like, ghosts probably exist too. Or at least, I'm not going to count it out unless I see otherwise. So like, with all the weird stuff that's been happening in his sleep recently, he's like, I've got to do something here. I'm not used to sleeping with lights on, but this has gone for way too long for me to care about that. Okay, totally gonna sleep like a baby tonight. I'll have an awesome dream. I try to go to bed as cheerfully as I can. Oh gosh, the lights in the TV suddenly shut off. I jump to my feet and press myself against the wall. I flip the light switch multiple times, but it doesn't react. Blackout. Did I blow a fuse? Wouldn't happen to be work of a ghost, would it? Don't tell me you used some dark power to entrap me. Trapped in a pitch black room? That doesn't sound safe at all. Is it me or is the darkness growing thicker? I have to get out of here. I try to escape the corridor, but the door won't budge. Oh gosh. Ow! Open up, you piece of... What's with the door? One of the most common traps in a 64-bit game. Open up! Help! Kotarou! Out of desperation, I begin begging for a woman to come save me. I shout from the bottom of my lungs, but unfortunately, it doesn't sound like any help is coming. Not too surprising, given the empty state of my house. In most horror movies, people get attacked by spirits in these kinds of isolated spaces all the time. Balcony! My tongue has grown numb from the panic, forcing me to pronounce "what about the balcony" in a weird and slurred manner. I rush to the glass window on the opposite side of the room. My room is on the second floor, but if the worst comes to worst, I could probably jump without breaking my neck. But no matter how hard I push the balcony door, it won't open either. It almost feels like it has been frozen. In that case, I pick up my chair and smash it against the glass. But just like hitting rubber, I stagger back, repelled by the force of the impact. The glass didn't break. Is this ghost field? Is this a ghost field? A powerful paranormal shield must be protecting the window from any physical harm. This phenomenon comes up in movies from time to time. I almost could believe it to be like a time lock, like a temporal lock, because if his rooms become temporarily locked and he's like free, then he wouldn't be able to really interact with a lot of his surroundings in any meaningful way. When those kinds of shields were active, you could hit them with a baseball bat, but they wouldn't have any effect. And of course, ghosts always make sure to punish the most violent characters first. So in short, I'm trapped inside a haunted room of pure terror. Oh boy. Feels like the darkness has suddenly grown even thicker, signifying the moment when the monster shifts to a more direct attack. This is all a joke, right? The light suddenly turned back on. Did it miss? Or maybe it really was a blackout after all? Of course it was. Ghosts aren't real. Oh, that's actually terrifying. That is like chills down my spine. Could you imagine? Lights turning on and you see that? Footprints fill my entire room. The ceiling, the walls, they're everywhere. As though someone had been strolling around every surface of my dirt with their dirty feet. There was no way a human could have accomplished something like that. They followed me around, you see. They repeated some nonsensical line I heard on TV once and promptly faint again. Don't blame you, man. That's freaking ridiculous. Holy crap. Tell me about it. I'm totally worn out. I didn't get a lot of sleep either. No, just sleep phobia. After yesterday night, all the creeping footprints in my room had disappeared by the time I regained consciousness. Can't really write this stuff off as just nightmares anymore.
妙だね。君んちのベランダガーデン、安眠効果の高いハーブが植わってるのに。
Aw, really? I didn't know they did anything.
リラックス効果、加湿効果、空気清浄効果、個々の組み合わせで様々な効き目が。
Aw, that's cute. Did you do that? It was cold outside, so I closed the window.
それでも効果があるようにしてある。どんな隙間からでも室内に入り込んで、わずかな量でも中の人間に確実な影響を引き起こす。
She's like a druid. You're making it sound like poison gas or something. Kotarou had planted a small garden on my balcony. In fact, gardening is kind of a hobby of hers. She has gone all out in my place since her parents paid for the expenses. Import and expensive plants from overseas and such.
実際、かなり強いハーブも植えてある。
Wait, some are stronger than others? I thought they either just worked or they didn't.
No.
No. Kotarou, don't plant anything weird on my balcony, okay?
朝顔ってどれもやばいよね。
I bet. I'm not sure if I like the sound of that.
オリジナルブレンド。あくまで計算されたハーブ同士のコンビネーション効果が肝なんだから。
Interesting.
世界にたった一つ。小太郎くんのためだけのガーデンです。
That's awesome.
また最近いろいろ新しいの仕入れた。今度いろいろ持っていくね。 効能に希望とかある？不安解消から鎮痛効果まで何でもござれだよ。
Can I get something that keeps ghosts away?
ないよ。どうして霊ブーム？
No, more like they're in their own phase. No, not that.
小太郎くん、そういう不思議な話好きだよね。UFO とか超能力とか未発見生物とかさ。
Yeah, but then they started being real, and it started being a little more intimidating. I wouldn't say I love them, just really curious about that stuff. But ghosts are one thing I'd rather not have anything to do with.
遭遇したの？
I'm not exactly sure. I tell Kotori what's been happening over the past few days.
その手形ってのは？
It turned into a bruise for a little while, but it's gone now.
もうプロのまじない師とかに頼るのはどう？
I mean, yeah, maybe. That sounds like a quick way to get scammed out of a lot of money.
わからん。でも魔女さんだったら何かわかるのかな？
Well, yeah. The Witch of the Academy.
でもまだ連絡来てないよね。
Guess I'll try looking for her again.
手伝う？
Nah, we know where her room is anyway.
オッケー。今のうちにおトイレ。
Seriously, though, I really can't catch a break lately. So many things have been happening so fast. Maybe they're all secretly connected somehow? Or maybe the stress is making me fly off the deep end. The Witch of the Academy, huh? Hopefully she'll be able to help somehow. Well, I should say hi to Otori while I have the chance. Yo, Otori, did you know that if you translate Ultraman literally, it would be called Man of the Max?
そうかもしれませんが。なぜ今？
Because, I don't know, it's random information time. Maybe Ultimate Man would be better.
どっちでもいいです。
Bell rings and our homeroom teacher arrives. Yoshino arrives a few seconds afterward, almost as though he'd been waiting behind the door to show up fashionably late.
こら、吉野くん、遅刻は目です。
And so begins another day. And after first period, I remember we were supposed to translate a few things. Oh, crap, I clicked... Curses! I clicked wrong. I remember we were supposed to translate a few things for the following class. Crap, I totally forgot. Do it! I can still make it in time if I hurry. The first sentence is I'm home. It means being home inside your house or something like that. It's way too much of a pain in the butt to actually do it. It'll be more effective if I find someone nearby to copy from. I'll check around for my neighbors. Otori seems to be doing her best to finish her homework. I quickly became curious as to how good she is with her schoolwork. Otori, can I see your homework real quick?
やです。それくらい自分でやってください。
Oh, come on. I steal a peek at her notebook.
I'm home.
私は家です。
An answer that defies all description. You know what? It's okay. The girl's dumb as a rock. I mean, wait, wasn't that right, though? Oh, I am a house.
なんですかそれは？
Yoshino's conveniently absent from the room, so I decided to check his homework next. Yoshino, highly doubt you spend much time preparing for class, but I'll nonetheless entrust my future to you. I rummaged through his desk. Found it. In a way, it's miraculous he even has a notebook. Another miracle, he actually did his homework. Let me see.
I'm home.
私は褒めです。
I am Mr. Home. I expected nothing less from my sworn rival. You went with Mr. Home, huh?
わ
Otori also decided to peek at Yoshino's answers. No, I don't think you're in a position to mock other people.
あ、失礼な。褒めさんと一緒にしないでください。
Well,
じゃあいいです。これを見せてあげます。
she spreads her notebook wide and points at her solution, but it still says, I am a house. I check her other answers. They actually seem perfectly fine. I see.
どうです？
I can hear the pride in her voice. Scribble, scribble. I copy your homework.
何やってんですか？
I'm copying your answers down so I can check if they're correct or not.
あ
She's in her head.
いや、書き写す必要とかないです。自分の宿題やってるだけじゃないですか。
Semantics. Hell, it'd be real embarrassing if the teacher picked me and I hadn't done the work.
だから先にやっておくんじゃないですか。
To be clear, earlier, Otori wasn't actually doing her homework. She was working on problems from later in the textbook. I must admit, your attitude is worthy of respect. I now see you are in completely different light.
急にそんなこと言われると逆に気持ち悪いんですが。
But I've got to say, the correct answer for this first one is I'm at home, actually.
はい。
Here, you can check it in the dictionary.
ありがとうです。I
Scribble, scribble.
しまった。うっかりでした。
See?
前にも似たようなことが。で、また
Scribble, scribble.
何やってるんですか？
And done! Thanks!
なんだかすごい納得のいかない気分です。
Hey, just think of it as helping out of your fellow men.
人に楽をさせるばかりが助けじゃありません。まあ、もういいですけど。
The idiom here is wrong, by the way. Her overly literal translations were most likely because of her honest personality. Bet you're happy you showed these to me now, eh? One hand washed the other and all that jazz?
できるんだったら自分でやってくればいいじゃないですか。
Don't think too hard on that. I'm a busy man. Speaking of busy, have we done anything about that part-time job we're supposed to be doing? Alright, we're gonna stop here. I don't know what else is happening, but that was interesting. Thank you guys so much for being here today. This was a good episode. So there's obviously a lot going on behind the scenes here. So we have like weird parallel potential dimensions. We have oddly like silent dogs that seem to be acting too intelligently, like to be a dog, more like a puppet or something. And then we also have that creepy ghost person with like literally leaving footprints all over the floor and ceilings of our home. Yeah, I don't know. It's all very strange. I don't know how else to put it. It's just freaking bizarro land right now. We'll have to figure all that out next time. Hopefully there's more to explore in the future. There'll be more kind of like to put together and kind of see if we have some final answers to find, at least the beginnings of answers to find. But I guess we'll just have to get there when we get there. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you especially to the patrons who help make it possible for me to have more content on the channel, especially like ReWrite. So we are going to be actually holding a kind of a channel democracy next month, where we're going to be choosing what's going to be the title we cover after ReWrite Plus. So keep an eye out for that, just because it'll be a chance for you to kind of help me understand what you're most excited to see in the future. So it'll be good to be able to do. But anyway, hope you guys have a great day. Have a great rest of your year, and I'll see you in the next video. So until the next video watching me, or see me next, I'll see you there.